Hey everybody, this is Alec Tackmann here. We're looking at GoAndPractice Book 3. This is page 22, the Paradiddle. Now if you're watching this video, you probably already know what a paradiddle is. It's just the basic right, left, left, left pattern. If you haven't messed around with this yet on the drum set, I would suggest starting with just playing some paradiddles and experiment with just moving your hands to different surfaces. You can make the snare drum your home base, and then you start with the rack tom and your right hand moving around, then go to the floor tom and so on. And just listen to the different sounds you get. The rhythm that your right hand is playing is going to be important here. Bum ba ba bum bum ba cha ta. Also, you can mess around with cymbals. Or you could play only the cymbals, that's fine too. Something like that could be like a cool moment in a song for like a bridge or something like that. But step one is just getting comfortable with that. I find with younger students messing around with paradiddles on the drum set, that's more of a hurdle than you might think starting off. So just getting comfortable autopiloting the right, left, right, left, left while moving around. Another thing you could also do is just set up a foot pattern and then play paradiddles on top of that. I like to do this with the snares off and just kind of see what comes out. Just see what we can come up with. So once you get comfortable with that, page 22 here is some slightly off the beaten path ideas to get what I think are some kind of hip sounding fills out of just the standard paradiddle pattern. Usually if you're going to play a beat and use this as a fill, just playing the straight, like sometimes that's not the most cool musical fill to use. It's okay, but it just kind of sounds like you're playing paradiddles. Like in a drum solo setting, you could come up with some cool stuff there. I think the next page deals with a bit of that. But if we start with number 1 here, this is the same general idea, but we're only going to take the single stroke of the right hand and move it to another drum. So we start off with just the floor tom. Home bass is the snare drum, and then the right hand singles move. So we end up with this. What's cool about that is that rhythm, bump dum bump dum bump bum that comes out. Number 2 on the page is basically just putting the second single to right on the high tom. You get a little bit of a melody out of this one. Slowly, this is just and again, we're still following right, left, left. Nothing is changing. These are just straight, normal paradiddles that we all learned in 5th grade. In number 2, though, it helps to, I think, add that backbeat on beats 2 and 4. So just rim shot that left hand that comes up. You do the same thing to number 1 also. Three is the reverse of that. We do the same treatment for the left hand. Now crossover is going to be weird, so we just go to the high tom for this one. You could go anywhere on the left. You go to the hi-hat. Come up with stuff there. Or if you want to try the crossover, fine. I never do that myself, but you could be the person who does it, I guess. But number 4 is where it gets interesting. This is one of my favorite licks to play. Still, again, a standard paradiddle. What this kind of comes from is, I think one of the first things I was taught when messing around with paradiddles is just moving that initial accent to the toms. So instead of take those accents and go right hand low, left hand high. Now that alone isn't that crazy or interesting, but I think it can be made pretty cool by adding one more note on the floor tom down here. And that's going to be what number 4 sounds like. This one again has some melody to it. Bum, ba bum, bum, ba bum. And you can link it up really easily with any other inverted paradiddle, whatever licks you have. This is just a nice, smooth one to come back to. I usually won't play it more than a couple of times in a sequence, but yeah, if you see me doing a drum solo anywhere, I'm probably going to sneak this one in at some point. So if you wanted to put it like in the context of some other licks, let's see. Anyway, a little bit of slop there, but you get the gist of it. You know, like a good starting point would be you could take the right, left foot ideas. And then just try to get from there to this paradiddle deal. Like you can go back and forth between the two. That right hand is just traveling. I'll leave it down to the floor tom. Anyway, that's probably my speed limit on that one, but you get the gist of it. All right, now this doesn't have to be played as 16th notes or 30 seconds, however you're counting it. Number 5 takes the idea and we drop it over triplets. And what's going on here in music, we call this a hemiola. And what we're doing is we're taking what sounds like a 4-beat phrase anyway. Your ear's naturally going to go bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum when you're hearing it. But we're going to copy and paste basically that pattern, but we're going to drop it into triplets. And it's going to give this illusion that we're slowing down, but everything still falls on a grid. Because we're just spreading out now that lick, it appears like you're slowing down. This type of thing, I would not suggest doing this in most gigs, unless it's like a jazz or fusion type thing where people would appreciate that or be into it, because usually this is just going to mess up the people you're playing with, because it'll catch them off guard thinking like, what are you doing slowing down, you know? Or if like, if people are trying to dance along to you, it's not going to work. So just be careful with the usage of number 5. But the idea is exact same pattern over triplets. I'll start with the 16th first and then get into it, keeping a point of reference on the left foot. So here's 4 into 5. It can be kind of cool in the right setting. A little bit quicker. So, you know, that last one there, I only did, you know, one of the 16th lick, but yeah. And anyway, like, you know, you notice I'm keeping quarter notes going here. If I'm ever going to do that triplet one live, I keep quarters going no matter what, because it sounds weird. If I take that away, it just sounds like I messed up. So I'll try that. I personally don't like the sound of that. I think, you know, at the end of the day, when you play drums, it's got a groove. People got to be able to tap their foot along to what you're playing. So number 5, I would strongly suggest keeping a quarter note underneath that one for sure. At least just for your own, you know, coordination, and you at least know where the time is in that one. So anyway, there's a few ideas of the basic paradiddle, and hopefully those can get you some little cooler licks into your playing. So thanks for checking out the video and this whole series. If you haven't got the book yet, please check it out. Again, we're doing Go and Practice Book 3. And see you all on the next video dealing with part 2 of all this stuff. So thank you.